Hi everyone, I'm here with Nicole Quigley from Instagram. She's Dad Starts Monday.
Hello, how are you?
And Nicole's just in here to chat a wee bit about how her weight loss journey has gone and a few different other things. So Nicole, do you want to introduce yourself a wee bit about what you do at the minute? Or
Yeah, so my name's Nicole, like Jordan said, and I run the blog Diet Starts on Monday. Started in 2017, mostly on YouTube, and basically then since I've moved to Port Stewart like about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and since then really took my foot off the gas in every way, so it's just kind of restarting again really. But yeah, so just kind of dealing with everything in weight loss. The funny side of it, I think it's really important to have a sense of humour about it because you can get very, very serious and you can really, really demotivate yourself.
yeah,
So basically just being really honest about it and sharing how simple yet difficult it is, because I think what I've learned, especially since starting everything, is I've tried every diet going, like I mean everything. I've put myself in hospital with fat burners, like it's so bad, really, really bad. Tried everything to lose weight, and then the only thing that really works is just consistency and a calorie deficit. That's pretty much it.
that's it. Let's end the video there. Yeah. So as you were saying there, like we'll start off even. You know, how do you think your weight started, or what were you like as a youngster?
Well, I never really had any problems with my weight. My mum had lupus, so she just always kept it in check with her diet. She doesn't take any of the medication, really.
So she just uses her diet to keep
She just
control
uses her
of it?
diet, and like she does take the odd bit of medication now because she's getting a bit older, but mostly it was just controlled with her diet and healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I just grew up with like no real junk food being in the house. Like bread was like not really a thing that we had in our house. Takeaways like on a Saturday or Friday night wasn't something I was brought up with. Always brought up to eat fruit and vegetables. Everything my mum made was like organic, fresh, cooked, like nutritious.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was always brought up to that and be active. Like on the weekends we would have went to the beach. My dad, we would have went cycling. I played tennis, taught tennis, went to scouts, like played on like every team the school had. Like I was just like always really
The most
active.
active person you think?
Yeah, and then I went to university and discovered the joys of takeaways and alcohol.
lads.
As does everyone.
Yeah, like I think around like in my final year of
Delivery
school.
is just the worst. Like,
Delivery
you know.
wasn't a thing then.
Oh, was
'cause,
it
like
not?
I'm 30 in July, so you're a lot younger than me.
Yeah, but even just normal deliveries, like are
Yeah.
still, you know, the next day when you're lying down in bed, you just literally just don't want to get out. So you're
I
getting
know.
delivery.
Like I was saying to Jordan before we started recording, like in my freshers week, my halls friends were like, "Do you want to get a Domino's?" And I was like, "What's that?" I'd never heard of it before. I literally didn't even know what it was because being from Fermanagh originally, we didn't have it down there yet. We do now, but yeah, I was just like, "What is this?" Like, and oh my god, the first time I tasted, I can actually still remember the first time I tried the garlic bread. It was so good. But I've always liked my food, and then basically, but I've always been really active, and I was always kind of really into my fitness anyway when I was a teenager. And then I used to watch like those VH1 All Access Hollywood Bodies shows that used to be on like the music channel. Well, no, you probably won't remember this, but whenever they used anyone
Is
who's
this like
like
the exercise things that used to be on TV
Yeah.
that you could follow along with at home kind of
no,
thing,
it wasn't
or?
like that. It was like what Jessica Simpson had to get into like
Oh,
the shape
right,
of
alright,
the
where it's
Dukes of
all
Hazzard.
rise, like,
All
basically.
rise,
Yeah,
basically. But I was like, oh my god, if I drink white tea and all this hair stuff, so I was like oh my god, fascinated by all this stuff. But I used to train loads because I really was like wanted to be that fit. And then I went to uni and I was like, oh my god. 5 Coronas for a five, or like 5 Coronas for a fiver in the egg, 6 shots for 6. Had my first hangover. I was just like, no, done. And then like basically, uni wasn't too bad. I kind of kept it in check. And then once I left uni, I had still all the bad habits with food and being sedentary,
yeah.
and then just didn't have the same like social aspect of the gym to kind of
motivate you to go.
yeah. So I just didn't go, and then it just kind of piled on really. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my god,
I think
none of
anyone-
my clothes fit. at
Anyone
all.
hearing that they didn't even know what didn't know what Domino's. I know probably it wasn't as big maybe as it is now, but like just
Yeah.
even the thought of that, you're just like, how?
Keep
how
in
is it
mind, this was
possible?
in 2007.
Aye.
2008 or 9, 2008, yeah, like, and so it's nowhere near as big as it is now, but it was only like big cities, like Derry had one, Belfast had one, had a couple actually, but like we didn't have them down
Yeah.
for Man and Tyrone, so it was just like, what? So that's kind of where it started, and then it just didn't
But even
stop.
not even not having a takeaway or anything like that there, like you'd think like most people would think, come a Saturday night, they'd
Yeah.
probably have a Chinese, like, or even Friday night they maybe have a Chinese, so we're like not even having a takeaway at the weekends, probably like foreign to most people. You know
No,
what I
it
mean?
never even occurred to me. Like, it would never even occur to my mother to be like, would we get a Chinese?
Like,
It would have been like
'cause-
once every 6 months.
Because she was using her diet so constructively.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like even though we're saying constructively, like it actually is a benefit. You know what I mean, to be eating healthy
Yeah.
organic food. Like, but
I would say that, but she was sometimes a bit over restrictive too.
Think
Because
so?
yeah, oh god, yeah, like oh she's gonna kill me if she ever watches this, but she would have been really like, oh you don't need to eat that.
like
She
about
did
everything.
about everything, and then
yeah.
like it was because she couldn't get her head around the fact that I played so much sports, so I would need to eat more.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she was like, but she was just uneducated about it, and she was like, you can't be hungry again. You had dinner.
Even though you literally had played maybe an hour
Yeah,
sport or an hour and a half
exactly.
or whatever.
So I might have had to come in from work, had like beans on toast or something. Then when I played tennis for 2 hours, come back in and be like, I am starving, and she'd be like, but how?
Yeah,
Exactly. So
Oh, that's mean.
then it nearly became like a guilty thing. So I think that was kind of like to be hungry.
Yeah. So you tried not to be hungry. Like,
Pretty
kind of
much,
thing,
yeah. And then it
Yeah.
just basically, when I went to university, there was no one there to restrict me, and I just went. I remember eating entire packets of Rocky bars just because there was no one there to stop me, and this
my
was
God.
completely alien to
It
me.
was nearly like it's nearly like because you were so constricted now you were just letting let loose.
Pretty much, yeah.
Most people
It
do
was-
that with drink, like, but you're just doing it with like food.
I did it with drink too, don't
Ah,
get me
yeah, I know
wrong,
that.
but it was like a pit bull off a leash. I was like, oh my god, I can have takeaways for every meal and no one is going to stop me. So that's one thing I would say. If you are a parent bringing up a child, do not make like food
Do
the
not.
forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
Like let
Don't
them,
restrict them because
no.
then whenever they get older and they have like their own responsibility, then as you say, you just go
Exactly.
off the wire.
Exactly. So then I can remember if I was going home for the weekend, like binging on a Friday because I knew that
You wouldn't get anything
I wouldn't get
Saturday,
anything Saturday and Sunday. So I was like
Oh my God.
binging. Well, then I would binge basically from Monday to Friday instead of the other way around.
Instead of the 2 days a week, you're doing 5 days a week.
Pretty much.
So, then what do you think is your biggest motivator, or do you think you need motivation to go to the gym, or?
Oh, right. This is probably the question I get all the time. Is like anytime I'm like up at the gym like 5 or 6 in the morning, or I'm training a lot, people are like, "Oh my god, can I borrow some of your motivation?" It's kind of like, you know, where do you get your motivation?
Yeah.
This is something I want to make very clear, and it's something I didn't realise until I listened to the audiobook, The 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Unreal book. Highly recommend it. Like, cannot recommend that book highly enough. Literally, it is a life changer. But motivation is kind of a myth, to be honest. Like, there's of course there are times like January, everyone is like
Feels
motivated.
Yeah.
So what I think the real thing is you need to realise that most of your motivation actually comes down to choices. And the days that whenever you don't feel like going to the gym, the days that you feel like reaching for a pizza, they're the days that actually make the difference.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to
Go
stick
when you want to. Like,
yeah, whenever you want to go, it's so easy to go.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel like you're in a flow and you're getting into routine and you feel motivated and you're starting to see results and different things like that, like it is so easy to keep that going. But whenever those days that you feel fat, and especially like girls, you know what I'm saying, like PMS is a bitch, like whenever those kind of days
Can't
happen,
relate there, but
can't really, lucky you. But like different things like that, you need to actually realise that whenever those days you don't feel motivated, those times that you don't want to do things, you need to think of the bigger picture and think the reason why you're doing it. Like, I'm going on holidays in 15 weeks from yesterday, and I'm not going like a potato. I'm just not. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Like, so I've got 15 weeks to like really kill it, and I have one wedding and one concert, and apart from that I've pretty much got a clear run. So I'm just like, right, I'm gonna make the most of this. Plus I'm 30 in July, and I wanna have an outfit that I want to wear, and it doesn't fit yet. So
that's the goal to get in the
that's
life
the
before.
goal to get in the outfit.
Yeah.
It's a really class pink suit from River Island, can't wait.
So basically, like what you're saying there is you can't rely on motivation every day,
Yeah,
because
no.
you'll run out of motivation eventually.
Yeah.
You get those days where maybe you have a tough day at work or something, and you come in at the end and it's like, I do not want to go. Like, I don't want to be seen near the gym.
Yeah,
And
100%.
as you're saying, like they're the days that count. They're the days that you have to just drag yourself there. And as that 5 second rule is literally like
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Like,
1,
you
and
have
go.
to.
Yeah. Do it within the first 5 seconds, and then
100%.
yeah,
Like, it's
give
actually,
yourself a chance to change your mind.
yeah, for everyone who has never heard of the 5 second rule, it literally is whenever your instinct is like, I should do something, I should go to the gym, I should eat healthy, you just literally go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it, and physically move to take action. Because if you actually sit This is why I like to go to the gym in the morning before work, because if I don't do that, I will sit all day at work and talk myself out of it. It will be in the back of my mind.
Or you'll put yourself even in such a bad mood that you're like, when you're going there and you're like, I really don't want to be here, and you'll have a bad workout anyway, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, and then yesterday I was like sitting on my bed before I went to the gym, and I was like, I wish I could pay someone to go to the gym for me. And I was looking at the results, like I just didn't want to go that much, but like 4 minutes into the treadmill I was like, yes, let's do
Thank
this.
God you're there,
Thank
yeah.
God I'm here.
I
But what you have to realise is that people are like, I'm in bad form, I need to pick me up, I don't want to go. And like, I get it, I've been there, but it's only through forcing myself through those days and going, right, that the actual best pick me up is going to be training.
Literally, and like so many people don't even realise it. Like, I've even got it from some of my clients where they feel like sometimes they actually have more energy when they leave the gym, even though they've just worked out for an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they'll have more energy, or even if they don't, you know, they'll, like say they come in the morning time, when they leave the gym after that hour in the morning, they feel more like they have more energy the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Instead of them thinking, oh, because I went to the gym. Most people probably think if I go to the gym in the morning, I'm gonna be wrecked the rest of the day. But
exactly,
it's
the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I go to the gym in the morning, I notice at work my concentration is better and my performance is better at work every single time I go to the gym. So if I sleep in, like this week I got back from Paris on Friday night and
with 2 black eyes.
fell in the shower, by the way, funny story. But yeah, so I got back from Paris on Friday. Saturday and Sunday I was kind of wrecked, and then I just didn't want to go to the gym the whole week, and it would have been so easy for me to take this week off, being like, no, I'm tired, blah blah, but I just was like, Tuesday straight back into it. I was like, no, it's not happening.
Make no excuses kind of thing.
Definitely not, but I have noticed as well, I start work at 10, I've been sleeping till like 9:20 every morning, and like I get into work and I'm like, what day is it?
Literally, but you think if you had went to the gym in the morning, like, even though you're actually waking up earlier, you're feeling fresh by the time you get to work.
You're so alert and you're so awake and you're so switched on, and you've half a day done already, so you're just like, right, okay, blast out this week, handy 8 hours, and then sure, it's home to like chill out with Netflix and stuff.
Yeah. And like, people make it out that it's way harder than it is, or that they don't have enough time, you know, to fit the gym in. Like, but like, if you start work at 9, like most gyms open at 6. Like, you have 3 hours before you start work. You could easily work out for an hour, and that gives you 2 hours to eat breakfast and shower.
Yeah, and go for a walk on the beach if you live on the coast like I do.
Everybody's on about sports journey.
Oh God.
Nicole, what do you think then is like the hardest thing about losing weight? Like, what's the thing that literally probably holds most people back?
Consistency, 100%. Patience is another one that holds me back 100%. 200%, and booze.
Drink.
The
weekend basically ruins everybody.
Is so bad. So I'll go consistency first, or no, maybe patience. Because patience and consistency go hand in hand together. Because I am by nature an extremely impatient person. Like, I hate waiting for anything. Like, traffic jams turn me into a psychopath. Like, I'm just like, no, I want everything done yesterday, and that is probably the question that my PT gets most. Is like, oh, like,
how long is it gonna take? Yeah.
Like, I've been training I've been on the Go Figure online program since the end of November, and I've gone from 102 kilos to 96. So that's with Christmas and Disneyland Paris as well. So that's pretty good.
Christmas is the big one in there, definitely. I would say, because like everyone like goes off the wagon at Christmas. You know, you have staff parties, you have Christmas Day dinner, you're literally just eating rings around you. So
Pringles.
Yeah, flat and flat, Ferrero Rocher, whatever it is, like wherever it is, you're like, you know.
Literally naming all my favourite things here, Jordan.
Yeah.
But I would be really, really impatient, and I was kind of like, you know, do I need to drop my calories down? Like, is the weight coming off fast enough? And he was like, you're doing great. You've lost like a stone in like a month and a half with Christmas and being on holiday. Like, would you ever chill your beans? But I like want to start a diet and be a size 8 the next day, so it's really hard for me to kind of go, right, I'm just being a really impatient bitch because that's what would happen. And also then it's really hard whenever the impatience kicks in to stay consistent, because the hardest thing is just to keep going. Especially when people get to the point where they're like I don't feel like I'm losing weight. They feel like they're stuck or whatever. And I think you notice it as well. Like, I'd say it's harder from your own perspective to see your weight loss, whereas the best person to talk to is someone you haven't seen in a while. Yeah. I mean, when you go and talk to them, they're like, oh my God, look at the weight you've lost and all that here, blah blah blah. But like, you can't notice it coming off yourself, because you're looking at, you know, most people look at themselves in the mirror every day before they go to work, like they brush their teeth or whatever they're doing, you know what I mean? And they don't see the weight falling off them, but somebody else who hasn't seen you in a while will notice it straight away. 100%. And I think as well, people need to realise how well they're doing. Like, I was listening to James Smith's audiobook. Imagine if you're having a party, and like 1 litre of water weighs a kilo? Something like that?
Yeah. 1 litre of water is 1 kg,
Yeah, so basically if, like, I've lost, like, say if you lose like 6 kilos, and people are like, oh, but that's only 6 kilos. Imagine if you lift 3 2-litre bottles of water and hold that and try and walk around with it. That's how much you weighed before, and I think you need to give yourself credit for that and realise how far you've come. Perspective. So that's, always think of it, and if you've lost a kilo, that's a kilo of water, that's a litre of water you've lost, so that's amazing. So like pick that up and go, okay, I weigh less, this much less now, so realise that. And then I think alcohol, that's the third thing that is the hardest thing. Like, it's not even just alcohol, there are so like many low calorie options out there now, like a vodka and Diet Coke or a vodka and soda with a wee bit of
Coke Zero, literally 0 calories. Like, how can you go wrong with that? You just have the calories from the vodka.
I couldn't drink it all night. It's too sweet.
Nah. Jeez, I had no bother. No bother. But even if you don't like Coke, like there's 7-Up or Sprite is 0. You can get Fanta 0. Yeah. You can get everything. Pretty much everything.
Mine's like 35 calories, so it's fine. But it's not even that. If you're a gin person, But like, I love my wine and I love my beer. Like, so that would be a harder one for me. But it's not even just making those choices, it's the hangovers. And like the next day, you're not going to go to the gym. You're not going to leave your bed. You're going to get one takeaway at least, if not 2. And you're going to sit there and eat a pile of Doritos while you wait for the fucking takeaway to come. Like, when you think about that, that's like 5,000 calories that you have smashed in one night out. Say if you go on, like, say for instance you're going to watch the football with the boys, right? How much will you have? How many pints will you have during the match? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah, you could easily have that, and then you start drinking your half-uns after that, because if you're staying out all night, then you leave.
Shorts. And your shorts, And then, half-un, is that what you call it?
Half-un, shorts, half-un.
And then you get kebab on the way home.
That's what I was going to say, you take away on the way home, and then the next day, then when you're dying, your activity level is way down. You wouldn't have got the normal steps you really got in if you weren't dying.
You're dehydrated.
Yep.
So you're not drinking water. Well, you are drinking water, but like it's not making a dent.
Yeah, exactly. You're just replenishing what you had, so you're not really doing it much for the day.
Exactly.
And then you're lying in bed and you're eating constantly. Like, you're eating food, you're eating, your snacks, you're eating, and your 2 takeaways, as you said.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
It's insane the amount of calories you consume, because you don't actually count from the night before right the way through. And like, as you said, 5,000 calories easy.
I would say if you're out like all day from watching football like that, you've 5,000 calories by the time you get home. Then the next day you probably have another 5,000 calories. That's 10,000 calories over 2 days. If you're in a calorie deficit of like 500 calories per day, you have pushed yourself into a surplus double what you've actually put in your deficit each other way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's like that's the way everyone comes on, like stuffed and all that, like these bellies and all, because there's so much stuff in them. But it's literally, you could have been doing a 500 calorie deficit every day all week, right?
Yeah.
And so that over 5 days, that's 2,500 calories, right?
Which is a good deficit. It's 3,500 calories to lose a pound.
There you go. Well, 2,500 calories, right, over 5 days. Like, and come Saturday, then if you just eat a full takeaway, that's 3,000 calories. Say, for instance,
you've done all your work.
You've literally undone the whole week, and you've been like thinking to yourself, if I do, right, I'll treat myself the weekend, but you overdo it.
Yeah.
And you're back to square one.
Yeah, we're not saying you can't have a takeaway. You can.
Just like, not mental. Like,
not mental. Like,
not like chips, rice, curry, chicken, and then you know what I mean. Do that Saturday and Sunday. You know what I mean?
Getting that on the way home. But like, no, that's what I mean. Like, if I know I'm having a takeaway on a Saturday night, I'll be keeping my calories really low all day. Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then probably most the next day too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and as well, it doesn't mean if you're in a deficit all week, it doesn't mean that you can't have it on a Saturday, because you're going to go back to square one. Lower your calories for the whole day on the Saturday, then, and that way, then you can afford that Chinese in the evening.
100%.
And it's all calories in versus calories out. Like,
there's actually a fourth thing that's the hardest thing about weight loss, is being honest. And that is 100%. Like, Ryan will tell you, like, whenever I started my PT, I literally rang him crying. I was like, I don't understand why I'm putting on weight. Like, I stick to 1,600 calories a day. I train 3 to 4 times a week. I walk to work every day. I am not sedentary enough and eating enough to be the size I am. And he was just like, right, listen, number one, fucking stop crying. Number 2, chill out, love. Number 2, he was just like, I think you're eating more calories than you think you are. So what I want you to do is send photos of everything you eat for the next week. And he's like, I don't care if you spill crumbs on the table and lick them up again. I want a photo of them before you lick them up. And I was like, okay, fair enough, that's grand. And then I realised once I was doing that, I was like, I'm actually having bits here and there, and I was consuming probably easily an extra 500 to 1,000 calories a day than I thought I was. So I was in a surplus, and I was like, oh
and
my god.
especially the easiest way to do it is probably when you're working, if you know what I mean. Like you're sitting at the desk and you're munching on something like that there because you're concentrating and you're not thinking about what you're eating.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean, you could eat say just hypothetically in a whole day you had 2 chocolate bars, but 2 chocolate bars is what, 400 calories. Yeah. So
it's like
easy going. Like, and so if you're thinking you're in a 500 calorie deficit, you're really say for instance with the 2 chocolate bars you're only in a 100 calorie deficit.
And that's before you have like a pinch of cheese when you're making dinner.
Yeah, literally, you know, exactly.
So
you're weighing it out, and there's a wee bit left on the side, and you eat that as well. Like, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but literally, if you do that 3 or 4 times a week, like,
it's tough. It does.
Especially people who are struggling to lose weight.
Yeah, especially like whenever you're like, and that's one thing my mum used to say. She's like, would you not be really, really strict until you get to where you want to be, and then let yourself go a bit, and then you can have a takeaway. And I was like, well, yeah, I understand your argument, but I've done that before, and it just all comes back on with over restriction as well. So
you over restrict and then you like binge basically.
Oh god, cycle.
Yeah,
the Joe Wicks one, to be fair. But no, I used to be obsessed with the numbers on the scales, and then I think that as well. God love her, I'm really throwing her under the bus today, but with her wee mama, she used to be like, I think
she's
this way.
She's
getting a tank and she's gonna absolutely kill me. But she was just like, oh, you know, how many have you put on, like, how many pounds have you put on after holidays or whatever? And I'd be like, don't know.
Was she keeping it on your shoulders, was she?
She was a wee bit, yeah. And I think that kind of didn't give me the best relationship, but like, we're sorted now, so it's fine. She just lacked a wee bit of education, like a lot of people when it comes to this sort of thing. But the scales, right, the amount of girls I get messages from who are at Slimming World and Weight Watchers and various different weight loss clubs. Listen, if that is your thing and it works for you, I don't give a shit as long as like
if it works.
I've done Slimming World and it was brilliant to an extent, but what actually worked for me was starting in a restaurant and not eating dinner and walking 20,000 steps a shift. So that was like, the diet was great, but I love pasta, so if someone's going to tell me pasta's free, I'm eating a kilo, do you know what I mean?
I know, and that's the thing about that, you know, Slimming World doesn't allow for is, although they do have the food diaries and stuff to see how much you're eating and all, but like, free foods don't make sense, and half the time it's all carbs or free foods, and you're like, how is like, potatoes and pasta and all free?
Like, it was the best diet in the world for me, because I was literally like, amazing, and then
like a beef, like something beef or whatever would be like, 10 cents.
Like beef is free, but it's beef with fat in it.
Beef with fat in it, then 10 cents or something. You're like, how is that even possible?
I know, it was like, and then this is my favourite one. Fruit is free, but if you heat it up, it has cents. Or if you blend it.
How does that even make sense?
Something to do with the sugar.
There was a whole thing that James Smith was talking about, how Muller yogurt went from being free to being a sin.
Yeah,
and overnight. Overnight he was literally going mad saying about like, oh, did they change the recipe and all this here? And they're like, no. So then, how does the Slimming World diet even
I think
work?
it was actually because people were eating so many of them, they had to stop letting them be free. But like, I completely get it. Like, there's certain, because their logic is, oh sure, nobody could eat that much pasta, nobody could eat that much potatoes. Have you bet me? Yes, I could.
Literally, it's like you're letting the free foods that fill you up real fast.
Absolutely.
But then people are like, I'll just eat as much as I can.
Yeah,
I wonder
like,
why they're not losing weight.
For people like me who don't like, I do get full now, but at the time I was like, I don't get full. This is great. But like,
it's free. It's free.
But I was losing weight, but it was all focused on the scales, and I was advised not to go to the gym and advised not to be like, to be active, but not to lift weights or anything like that in case I gain weight from the scales.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God,
so
telling people not to go to the gym.
No, it was just like, oh, just don't be going to the gym and doing too much weights because it can help you gain weight and that'll dishearten you. And I was kind of like, what? Like, and to me that was baffling because
telling you to eat as much pasta as you want and not exercise. Brilliant diet. Like,
but
who's not going to
love
that?
I have to say though, but like, that's in free food. If you actually do what they tell you to do, like the food optimization, where half your plate's meant to be veg and a quarter is like meat and a quarter is your carb, like, and that is actually a really good thing to do. The body magic and the community is lovely and different things like that, and the wee bars to do. Like, some of the things that Slimming World does is fantastic, but some of it is really, really shit. Like, I love avocados, but if like a whole avocado was 14 cents. That was my sin sum for the day. I couldn't have any chocolate. I was like, fuck that.
How does that make sense? Like that an actual like fruit is it a fruit or a vegetable?
Their sin system works mostly by eradicating fats.
Right.
So because an avocado and alcohol, Jesus Christ, boosting the brain. Avocado was so high in fat.
That's why it's so many sins.
That's why it's so many sins, because it was high in calories. So that didn't suit me. But also the way it was like so scale focused didn't suit me either, because like my clothes were getting looser and looser and looser, and I'd only lost like a stone or something, but like I was dropping 3 or 4 dress sizes. So I was just like, right, okay. So it was disheartening in that way, but also I think what a lot of people are like, the messages I get from girls who are going to these classes, sorry, tangent, and then they're like, oh, but I must have done something wrong, I have a pound on. And I'm like, right, listen, Tuesday night I could weigh myself and be, let's say, 97 kilos. Wednesday morning I could weigh myself and be 96.8. By the time it gets to Wednesday night, I can be 99. Then I can be 100 on Wednesday morning, or sorry, I'm getting my days mixed up, but you know what I mean here.
Like your weight fluctuates up and down depending on water, depending on loads of different things. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, especially like if you didn't drink much water the next day, or if you didn't drink enough water on one day, then the next day when you drink water, your body tries to hold on to it, and then you weigh way more. You know what I mean? If you had done that over the weekend, say you went out, and then Monday you start drinking water, you have to go to Slim World Tuesday, your body's stored all that water, you know what I mean? And you're like, how have I not lost weight? I'm the exact same, and it's a stupid cycle to go in with the scales.
It's a really, so what actually I would advise anyone to do who feels themselves getting disheartened by like having a pound on, even though they've been like on plan all week or whatever, is weigh yourself every single day and sometimes twice a day until you realise, like, my PT, like that made me, like a PT I worked with a couple of years ago, I used to have this crippling fear of the scales and I would really dodge it like the plague because I was like, oh my god, what if it's not?
What if it's not down? What if it's up?
Exactly. Yeah. And he was like, right, here's what I want you to do. Weigh yourself every day. In fact, for the first week, I want you to weigh yourself twice a day. And I absolutely burst into tears when he said it. I was like, oh my god, no, I can't do that. But once I did it, I realised how up and down your weight goes throughout the day and over the course of the week. And then you start being so, like, obviously you want to see it mostly go in the right direction, but you stop freaking out over that 1-2 pound fluctuation, because it does happen, especially with girls. It's mental.
Yeah, it happens more with girls than it does with boys, to be fair, but like fluctuations are completely normal, and like it just might have not fluctuated in the right. Like I've heard people saying, you know, they've no weight off, like week by week, and then next thing they're 5 pound off. You know what I mean? And you're just 100%. Like, yeah, it's just whatever days you went to the Slim World that week, you maybe just haven't. You know,
maybe the day you're weighing heavier.
Yeah.
It's completely
way heavier on a Tuesday, just as you do.
After the weekend.
But, yeah, like it's stupid things like that. Like you know, so I wouldn't get too bogged down with the scales. Like, and especially the best thing I think to do is go off how you're looking in the mirror, or dress sizes, or you know, clothes, how the clothes fit on your back.
Yeah, photos are a really good one too.
Yeah, photos definitely, and as well, like a before photo, and then when you start the diet and all, it can be a good motivator. You think, geez, look how far I've come till now.
Yeah.
Keep pushing you forward to the end.
100%, and I think as well, people need to realise that it takes time. Like, the weight didn't go on overnight, it's not going to come off overnight.
Exactly, you know, it could have took you 2 years or a year, even say, to put all this weight on, and you're trying to lose it in 6 weeks.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people are literally crash diets for 6 weeks, and then they get to the end of the 6 weeks, they haven't lost what they wanted to lose, and they're like, frig, what's the point? I'm back on the binge train.
Yeah, 100%. Binge hard cycle.
Literally.
I like to think about it now though.
Oh no, it would stress you out, overthinking it as well. You know what I mean? Thinking about, you know, it sounds like so much work, like having to lose weight, but it's not. It's not,
and I think that's what people
and
really.
The big one that you said is being honest with yourself. I would definitely say 100%.
Oh my god, yeah, 100%. Being honest is a big thing, and I think that the biggest thing with weight loss is that you need to realise it's very simple. It's very simple. That does not mean it's easy at all. It's the opposite of easy, but it is so simple.
Exactly. It's not complicated. It's just not easy.
Complicated. It's just not easy. And people are like, I'm not gonna say about my mom again, but like basically.
I saw you being bored out of the house.
No, but like like I read about every fad diet growing up, like no carbs, I've tried that, like drinking like 5 or 6 cups of green tea a day, like caveman diet, keto diet, like I've tried like everything and I've read about everything, and it all boils down to the same principle, which is a calorie deficit. And like it doesn't matter whether it's Slim World, Weight Watchers, keto, Atkins, carb free, low carb, high fat, doesn't really matter what it is. Dukan diet, what else is that? South Beach diet, like
I don't even know. Keto,
hundreds of them.
Did you mention keto?
I did, yeah. But like all of them, no matter what they are a calorie deficit dressed up in a different bow. That's literally it. Literally it. Is like, the only thing.
That's it. And like all, you know, even like the Slim World, like Slim World's getting a lot of touch here, but like, you know, all it's aiming to do is trying to fill you up as fast as it can, so that you stay in a deficit. Because if you're full, you're not going to eat. So if you're not going to eat, then you'll be in a deficit.
I'm not going to eat. Are you serious?
Well, but you know what I mean. That's the whole aim of it, is to try and fill you as quickly as possible, so that you don't overeat. You know what I mean? So that's why it's half the plate is veg, because veg is so filling, it's so satiating, and it's you know loads of, like the caveman diet is a high protein diet basically.
High protein, yeah.
So like, and protein is a satiating food, so like that's trying to fill you up, but basically everything boils down to calorie deficit. So I was just saying to Nicole then before she got here about on one of her Instagram posts she had talked about how she was a stone heavier but a dress size down, and I just wanted to talk about that because I think people get so bogged down with the scales, just as we mentioned there now, and like that you know that should make sense in most people's eyes. Like, how can I be heavier but be smaller? You know what I mean? So
muscle.
Yeah,
basically,
there you go.
muscle is the answer. And like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to get too bulky. Like, wise up. You don't have the hormones in your body to get bulky. It's not possible for girls.
It's literally like, it's so hard. Like there's so many men be going to the gym for years, right?
Yeah.
And they struggle to put on size.
Yeah.
And a girl, like the thought of a girl that they think they're going to get bulky shoulders and bulky, you know, and all this here.
100%.
It's not happening.
You're not going to get that unless you're taking steroids or injecting testosterone. It's not going to happen. You're like, you might shed enough fat so that you have a lot of definition, and that's when you kind of get the Madonna arm look.
Yeah.
So
but you're not going to get bulky shoulders where you're sitting like as white as a man. Like,
you're
as
not.
A man
No, you're not. Like, I could lift weights all day and still never have the breath you do. Like, it just wouldn't happen.
Literally, it wouldn't happen because, as you said, you don't have the hormone for it. Like.
Exactly. Like, testosterone's the growth hormone that you need to synthesize muscle, and we don't have enough of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that, you know, to not get bogged down in is the scales. Like, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Basically, like, as the scales give you false perspective.
They give you a false perspective. They can be a really disheartening thing. And whenever it comes to weight loss and stuff, you want to have them moving overall in the right direction. Like, if I bounced up at like 105 kilos, I'd be like, hang on a minute, no, that's not right. But I would still want to keep them moving down, and I know where I want to be by July, which is kind of my end goal. But if I'm like a couple of kilos heavier, but I'm still happy with the way I look and the way my clothes fit, I'm not going to sweat too much.
Exactly. So we were just talking there about the first time Nicole ever went to the gym and what she thought about it. You know, what was going through her head, what was worrying her. So do you want to take it away there?
First time I went to the gym would have been about 15 or 16. It would have been like the summer of like 4th, 5th year, maybe just after my GCSEs. And I was going every single day. I was training for 3 hours for a start, but it was all like cardio. So I was doing like one thing and then going and running 15 minutes on the treadmill and then going for another machine. So I was training for ages. So I spent 3 hours in the gym, and I was getting results, but fuck me, 3 hours a your day.
Fucking, you couldn't do it.
Like, Jesus Christ, like, you know, I was off my summer holidays. But so basically the first thing that intimidated me, so I remember like seeing the boys in the weights room and being like, oh no, I'm not going near there, the weights are for the boys.
Yeah, weights are for the boys and cardio equipment's for the girls.
100%. And then I was just like, and it was intimidating, especially whenever you see like these fellas, big powerlifters, lifting these massive weights and screaming when they put them down. It's just so unnecessary, by the way. But like, you're just like, right, okay.
It puts you off where the weights are, you know what I mean? And you stay up maybe to one side of the gym that has all the cardio equipment.
100%. So basically I was doing all that. And then I started going out with a PT when I was like 17, 18, and then he was like, right, Nicole, I want to get you in the weights room, and I was literally like, are you on drugs? Like, no way, it's not happening. I'm going to get bulky, like, no way. But then I can remember going on the Gravitron and realising that I couldn't lift anything, like I was the weakest person alive. So then he kind of was like, right, let's start doing weights, and I started really liking the effects of that.
Yeah.
And like the way my body was looking, the way my clothes were fitting, because before I would have been slim. But I don't want to have
no shape, do you?
No, I didn't have shape. I've always been quite curvy, but like I was just really liking the fact that I was leaning up and that like certain things like my shoulders were filling out a wee bit, like but in just a nice way. So it's everything had more definition because it was building more muscle. Clothes were just hanging better, basically. So I was like, love this. Let's keep doing that. And then like our date night would have been like gym. And probably a Chinese after, but like, but it was still a gym. It was still gym and stuff like that. So then just started basically then joined a cheerleading squad at uni. Like I said earlier, it wasn't the most professional cheerleading squad. We did spend most of our time in the pub, but whenever you need to be able to catch a person and throw them, you need to be able to like hold their weight and catch their weight, so you're strong enough than what they weigh. So basically training weights with that one, and then just gradually picking it up more, like
the more you're there, the more that you're in the gym, then the more wee things that you learn. You see somebody else maybe doing something, you think, I'll give that a try, and then you try it and you like it.
100%.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I started when I started my first job after uni, I started training in a boot camp in Ervinstown with Paddy Doherty, and he started like doing a lot of weightlifting with us, so just through more education, and then started becoming less and less intimidated by those weights things. So the only thing I would say to you is that yes, it can be intimidating, especially if it's in a new gym. Don't let that wee voice in your head tell you that someone is looking at you. No one is looking at you, they're too busy looking at themselves.
Literally, everyone is in there doing their own wee thing. They're all looking at themselves, and so no one is even thinking about you. No one's looking at you because you're thinking the exact same thing that all them people are thinking. Is anybody looking at me? Is anybody? And they're focusing on themselves.
Yeah. And like I said, like the only time someone is looking at you is if they're checking you out.
Literally.
100%.
That's it. Hi everyone, so thanks for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts on what Nicole had to say. Like the video and press the subscribe button as well. And yeah, you can check out any of the videos that I've done previously. Thanks for watching. Show me the colors of your heart.